This is OpenSUSE Leap 42.2 with the GNOME 3.20 desktop. Some of the comments I made in the video about the Plasma version also apply to the GNOME version, so I suggest watching that video also. And some of the comments I'm going to make here will apply to the Plasma version. Now, let me say at the outset that I had a rather interesting problem. I had OpenSUSE 42.2 with the KDE Plasma desktop installed on one of 6 partitions on an external drive, and you may recall that I've installed 6 Ubuntus on that drive and recently had 3 Ubuntus on OpenSUSE and 2 Fedoras on that drive. But when I tried to install a second OpenSUSE on the drive, I was unable to do so because the OpenSUSE installer said I already had a root partition and I couldn't have another one. Now, it's possible I could have worked around this problem by unmounting one or more other root partitions on the drive, but I didn't have this problem in any other distribution. To save time, I just reformatted the drive and put OpenSUSE on 1/6 of the reformatted drive. Now let me just go into some of the features. As you can see, I have Simple Screen Recorder installed and running. I was able to get that through the YaST package manager, which is available in all versions of OpenSUSE. Showing all applications, these are in alphabetical order, unfortunately, and they're all mixed up. There are a lot of games here, so I'll skip those. This is the Brasaro disk burner, cheese, webcam, utility, chess is a game, clocks give you world clocks, contacts is contact list, desktop search, dictionary, documents, this is a file folder. Empathy is a chat tool. Evolution is an email client. Files, of course, is the file manager. In this case, it's Nautilus. Firefox, of course. GIMP is installed, the photo editor. It's not installed in many other distributions, but OpenSUSE is very good in having that installed. It's another game. Inkscape, a drawing program, is installed. LibreOffice, the full LibreOffice suite. Here's a news reader. Lights off, I'm not sure exactly what that does. Mahjong is a game. Maps, GNOME Maps. Minds is a game. Music is a music player. One of the things about this array is that the titles are truncated, so you can't really tell what they say. Show details. Takes a good while to show those. Network tools. View information about your network. Well, I don't care to right now. Notes, package sources, I'm guessing, since I can't read it. Package updater, Polari, I'm not sure what that does. Quadrapassal, don't know what that is. Search and something, settings, Shotwell, the photo organizer, Simple Scan, Simple Screen Recorder I installed using YaST. It is in the repository. And I have GNOME software, and I'll go into that in a moment. Sudoku is a game. Sunday is a group of applications. YaST. Again, I'm stymied by these truncated names. YaST something, YaST something. Main menu. It allows you to organize your main menu. Power statistics. Print settings. The X-terminal YaST, which is this very useful control center, and YaST2, which is additional utilities, add-on programs, etc., etc. I'm not going to go into all these now. They're very similar to YaST2 in the KDE desktop. It has the same YaST package management that you have with the KDE version. And as I said, I was able to install Simple Screen Recorder. It also has GNOME software. Which is right here. Now, the only thing about it is that it doesn't have any choices. There's no categories here that I can go to other than editor's picks. I'm not interested in the editor's picks. What do I do to get to utilities, or to engineering, or to development, or anything else? There's nothing. Software is up to date. There's nothing. Installed. It's taking a good long time even to show me what's installed. At least we've got that. I'm going to go back to all. And under all, there's nothing. Now, I am connected to the internet with a very good wired connection. But for some reason, GNOME software is not populating. So those are two ways of getting software. YaST, which works, and GNOME software, which doesn't. Now, there's also the OpenSUSE one-click install. In my videos about the KDE Plasma desktop, I showed you how to Google applications to use that, but there's a better way, probably in another way. I'm going to connect to Firefox. And by the way, this is version 50.2 of Firefox. It's quite up to date. Now I have two home pages selected here, and the first one is this OpenSUSE search page. If you look up here at the top, it will say Get Software. So you can click on this. And if you want to, you can make a note of this. You can make a note of this address in case you don't have this search page on your system anymore. But this is another way of using the OpenSUSE one-click install process, and probably the way they would prefer. I'm going to search for VLC, the media player. And here you see it. Let me click on OpenSUSE 42.2. And show unstable packages. Warning, I'm not worried about that. In any case, you can get it. So I'm going to choose this first one. Open with YaST, one-click install. That's the default. Yes, by all means. Click on Next. Click on Next. Click on Next. I clicked the wrong mouse button. Switch. No, I don't want to switch left and right buttons. Click on Next. Warning, have you reviewed the changes that we've made to your system? Yes. This is a lot more than one click, I might add. Click on Continue. Software is being installed. Import untrusted key. I'm going to trust it. So that's how to use the OpenSUSE one-click install from the OpenSUSE home page. Confirm, close. There's the VLC media player, just to make sure that it opens. I'm not going to allow metadata network access. So it opens. I don't have anything to play on it yet. Now I mentioned that I have a wired connection, but the wireless networks do work. I have Wi-Fi off. Select network, Airplane mode is on. Turn off airplane mode. Wi-Fi is off. Turn on Wi-Fi. And now it's finding networks. One thing about GNOME, it puts the most powerful network first. Most other desktops do not do that. So I click on mine, click on connect, enter my code. And connect. Now it's defaulting to my wired connection. So I'm going to turn off my wired connection and see if I can still use the internet. Yes, I can. So basically, I know that the Wi-Fi manager works. However, I'm going to go back to my wired connection. Turn off. Turn on. Wired connected. Now when it comes to desktop backgrounds, I right-click on the background. It says change backgrounds, and then I click on background here. And there's not exactly a huge choice. You're basically stuck with what you have. Wallpapers, pictures, colors. Of course, you could always make it a color, solid color. That's all right. But this is not so bad because you can download pictures and install them. So I'm just going to keep the one that it comes with for now. It does come with the GNOME tweak tool. Which is more than I can say for GNOME that comes with Fedora and some other distributions. You have to download the GNOME tweak tool. Here it is by default. I'm not going to spend a lot of time tweaking because I've been through this on other videos. I'm going to turn on the global dark theme. It doesn't really do anything yet. Under top bar, I can show the date and the clock. As you can see, that suddenly appeared. Under Windows, I can show the maximize and minimize buttons, which is one of the great deficiencies of GNOME 3. As you can see, minimize, maximize. There's a lot of other things I could do. I can put a menu on here. I can put the taskbar across the bottom. Things that I would normally probably like to have, but I'm not going to do them now. One thing you have to reload the application to get the global dark theme. Otherwise, GNOME 3 in OpenSUSE runs just about the same as GNOME 3 in other distributions. I will say that it's far superior from the standpoint of screen recording to GNOME 3.22 that comes with Fedora 25. I was unable to make any kind of screen recording in GNOME 3.22 and Fedora 25. Part of that is the fact that their version of GNOME 3.22 uses Wayland, but even in the Xorg version of it, I still couldn't make any screen recorders, and that's a deficiency of Fedora, probably more than anything else. But I have no trouble making screen recordings in OpenSUSE, so if that's a priority for you, I think OpenSUSE would be a good choice. This is XRAM Tech. Thanks for watching.